The first two readings of today helps us to understand a bit more the gospel. Let me start with the first two readings. I don't know about you, but for me, memories are important. You remember something beautiful that happened maybe years ago, maybe you were still young, and these are beautiful memories that helps you to come down, sometimes lifts up your spirit. So when we have a first reading from the book of wisdom, and it speaks about the Exodus for the people of God, this is a wonderful memory that kept the people going, because it reminded them that they are the chosen people of God, that they are the children of God, and that God made a promise with them. The promise of the entering into a new promised land. But then there also the second reading. It's a reading from the Hebrews, which reminds us, which is another memory for all the churches of the faith of Abraham. Abraham who trusted the Lord. So kind of the people of God, when they hear readings like this, it's very important to understand that these memories are helping them to entrust themselves to God. Why? Because God was faithful with them, isn't it? The first reading, God was faithful and He kept His promise, and they entered into the new land. While the promise to Abraham that He will give him a whole kingdom and a whole people, and he will become the father of a whole nation, it is a promise that also was fulfilled. So I'm sure that when the people of God read these readings, they, I'm sure of it, their memories were lightened up with good memories, with a memory of the faithfulness of God. However, then, for us, we have the gospel of today. And the gospel of today, which is so long but so beautiful, starts with something which is very important for each one of us today. It starts with a positive note, and it's inviting us to engage ourselves as being the children of God with our Father. Because Jesus says to the disciples, and He's saying to you and me, He's saying this, do not be afraid any longer, little flock, for your Father is pleased to give you the kingdom. Isn't this another promise? So when we are kind of under the weather, when we feel down, when we feel even spiritually empty, we are called, like the people of God in the first readings, to go back to this beautiful promise. And in our memory, we remember that God was faithful. And He will be faithful with each one of us too. This is a promise. This is a promise not to be afraid, that He will be helping us, He will be delighted to help us enter into His kingdom. So, between all these readings, there are two very important virtues. Hope in God, which helps us to trust God. And these two will help us to empower us, increase in us our faith in God. That God is faithful to His people, that God will be faithful to me personally, to each one personally. Hope and trust are like beacons of light that cast away our doubts. So when we come into a situation of doubt, do not be afraid. Doubt is there to help me to reach out for my memories and remember how God was faithful to me in my life. My doubt helps me to go back to the Word of God, who's telling me, you, my little flock, you, my dear friend. It's so beautiful. This little flock, it's like a very beautiful kind of word. It's a very cozy kind of way how Jesus is speaking to His people. You, my dear one, you, my child, do not be afraid. I am with you, and I will help you to enter to the kingdom. Now, he continues in this gospel with something is very important for us. So God and Jesus is doing His part of work. First of all, He's giving me hope. He's an entrusting God, so I can turn to Him. But what's my role? What am I supposed to do? And the role is very important. We are the stewards in today's world, not, as He told us, to make a treasure for myself, not to be a selfish person, and do a treasure in my heart which can truly be stolen or even emptied. But to be a steward of the Lord and to work in the field of the Lord so that